Introduction. Father Seraphim Rose and 21st Century Science by Philip Johnson. I first heard of Father Seraphim Rose in the summer of 1996 while lecturing in the Seattle area. A young man who had been in contact with the monks at the monastery of St. Herman in Platina, California, brought me a stack of books saying that the monks would like me to write an essay to accompany a collection of Father Seraphim's writings on Genesis and evolution. I had most of the books mailed to my office, but selected the slimmest one, Nihilism, to read on the trip. I was fascinated by the insight displayed in this early work and needed no urging to read later all the other materials I received, including Father Damascene Christensen's biography and the previously unpublished writings collected in this volume. Father Seraphim Rose believed in and lived by the teachings of the early Christian Church, but, or should I say, and therefore, he also thoroughly understood the problems of modernity. I am honored to have been invited to assist in bringing his teaching to the attention of a broader section of the public. My task is to review the state of the scientific questions today, to give the reader a sense of how well Father Seraphim's critique of evolutionary naturalism stands up now that a major reconsideration of Darwinism is beginning to occur in the secular world. I should explain first that my involvement with the subject of evolution has been quite different from his. Father Seraphim's primary objective was to explain the teaching of the Church Fathers, especially with respect to their understanding of the Scriptures, so that Orthodox believers would not be misled by misguided efforts to reinterpret those teachings in the light of modernist evolutionary science. He dealt with scientific questions mainly in the context of defending the patristic writings, and he directed his teaching toward fellow Orthodox believers. Although he understood the philosophical roots of evolutionary theory very profoundly, he was not extensively involved with the scientific community. He seems to have debated the subject only with Dr. Calomiros, who was apparently esteemed within part of the Orthodox community, but whose scientific views were confused and laden with misinformation. My own writings are addressed to the world at large, including secular intellectuals and religious believers from a variety of traditions. My writing and speaking brings me into constant debate with a variety of scientific authorities of greater and lesser renown. Most of my critics would not consider the Church Fathers to be reliable authorities, or even recognize their names. Many of them are also strongly prejudiced against anything that smacks of fundamentalism or even religion, and hence are repelled rather than persuaded by any reference to the Bible or its interpreters. To avoid endless confusion and distraction, and to keep attention focused on the most important point, I have firmly put aside all questions of biblical interpretation and religious authority in order to concentrate my energies on one theme. My theme is that, in Father Seraphim's words, evolution is not scientific fact at all, but philosophy. The philosophy in question is naturalism, the doctrine that nature is all there is, which for this purpose is identical to materialism, the doctrine that reality consists of nothing but the particles that physicists study. If materialism is true, then nature had to be capable of doing its own creating, and the existence of a materialistic evolutionary process follows as a matter of inevitable logic. Hence, I have argued, scientific materialists believe in naturalistic evolution not because of the evidence, but regardless of it. Although my own project has led me to avoid the questions of patristic authority that most concern Father Seraphim, some of my debating opponents have, like Dr. Calomiros, invoked the Fathers in highly distorted form for their own purposes. I am therefore gratified to see that Father Seraphim has thoroughly demolished one of the favorite canards of accommodationists not only in Orthodoxy, but also in Roman Catholic and Protestant circles. Desperately seeking anything that will support their program of melding Christianity with evolutionary naturalism, these theologians and scientists have claimed that such esteemed fathers as Basil and Augustine taught a doctrine which is more or less like a primitive version of modern evolutionary theory.